this episode, I'm going to announce at the top of my lungs that therapy is normal. And every single person on this planet, I'm going to put a should in there, should go to therapy at least once in their lifetime. I had a session with a client, and we've been coaching one-on-one for a few months now, and I'm really proud of her with improving her self-awareness. And in our work together, she's noticed her perfectionism. She never really connected the dots before, but in our coaching, she's set really concrete goals and has checked in with herself, and I'm just so proud of her. And she also said she's interested in exploring therapy because she's trying a lot of her, her daily tasks, associating it with her worth. And so when I know there's a worthiness issue with my clients, and I can smell that shit a mile away, because as a former counselor, that is just a big red flag of when the worthiness or insecurities and self-esteem is tied to some deep-rooted issue. And for coaching, I don't explore that with them. That's why I recommend going to therapy. We can talk about in our coaching session, okay, these are the patterns that keep coming up. So let's increase our awareness that, okay, this keeps showing up, this. Now, action step is let's explore that further with your therapist, right? Because I know my line, I know my boundary, and ethically, it's not appropriate for me to go into the healing and recovery and exploration of her past. So she shared with me her rules, quote unquote, thoughts and beliefs about therapy, and saying, well, people will think something's wrong with me. I'm embarrassed. If I go to therapy, that means something's wrong. And I just wanted to share, especially on this podcast, which made me think about it, is I want to live in a world where therapy is normalized, and the judgment from other people that if you tell them that you're in therapy, that they're going to just be so negative and rude and have all of these opinions about you. But screw that. Going to therapy is a sign of strength, not weakness, because you are showing up to work on yourself and be a better version of yourself and explore things that maybe you've never thought of before. It's just another way to gain clarity and gain a different viewpoint of your world. So I told her as an assignment to write down all of the things that are beliefs or rules you made up in your head that are associated with therapy. And I'm going to tell you to do that right now. Pause this podcast, take out your journal, and write down any associations you have with therapy. If it's, I've been to therapy before and it sucked, or my last therapist gaslighted me, or my parents did therapy when they were going through marital problems and I never want to go because they ended up getting a divorce. Whatever the rules or beliefs or associations you're making with therapy, I want you to write them all down. Get that all out on paper. And just know that the beauty of seeing a therapist, that there's millions of them on this planet, meaning every single person has a different personality, and not every therapist is for everyone. I think therapy as a whole is for everyone, but there's not every therapist is for someone. So think about it like dating. Have, 3 therapists to interview / just look at their profiles, see what sticks out to you, notice their language, and test it out. Like they should offer some type of free call or consultation, and that is an opportunity for you to just see if you vibe, because if one therapist kind of ruins it for the bunch, well, that's not really fair, right? So after you wrote your list of things about therapy, and maybe just browse and see, if I were to go to therapy, what would be something I want to explore? What would be some trauma? It doesn't even have to be deep, dark shit. It could be light. It could be lighter stuff. But yeah, what would be some things that I want to talk about? And knowing that all of those fears of not going or not thinking it's helpful, I would just be curious if you notice any patterns of what you wrote down. Are there any shoulds or have tos or rules that you just made up, but they have no merit? They just are really not factual. I know that because I've been in it myself, when you go to therapy in the beginning, it gets harder, right? You actually feel worse before it gets better, because again, you're opening up those wounds. But know that over time, things will get better, because you are finally spotlighting. You are putting a spotlight on all those dark, deep secrets. And now they have nowhere else to turn. You can't hide anymore because it exists. It's out in the open. And as scary as shit as that is, you're going to feel so much better because you're going to know how to deal with it now. It's not going to be, and you have that one person in confidentiality that you can talk to and trust about it. You don't need to alert all the things that you have in therapy and that you guys talk about. You don't need to talk about it with anybody else. It's completely confidential, and it's a trusted professional that you can talk to about it. They've seen it. They've heard it. They know. They've maybe even experienced it themselves. Maybe. So, bottom line, even though it may get worse before it gets better, that's kind of just like how some medications are. I remember taking some topicals, and makes your skin break out more, and then it gets better, it clears up. So if you were to treat therapy just like a doctor's appointment, that your mental health is just as important as your yearly physical, I just highly encourage you to think about, if I went to a therapy session, what does that make me, right? What kind of person am I to do that? But also, if I want to make this more normalized, how can I do that? Who can I talk to? Are there other people that have been in therapy and maybe it's not so bad? I'm also always a reference for you. I am always talking, I always want to provide education with therapy and break any limiting beliefs that you have about it. So if you ever need help and you want to talk about it, you want to discuss, you need help with finding a therapist, psychology.com is the go-to, but sometimes it gets confusing because they have alphabet soup behind their name, right? LSW, all these LPC, all of those acronyms. I got you. I will help you. Feel free to send me an email at connect@paigemitchell.coach, and you can just type therapy help in the subject line, and I got you covered. And now a quick break from our sponsor. I specialize in helping individuals find fulfilling careers with more purpose and less burnout in the workplace. Every day as a coach, I meet so many amazing people with incredible stories. When working with my clients, I explore their personal career goals, desires, and aspirations to make this world a better place. However, most people do not know how to start making their dreams come true on their own. A lot of my clients tell me they are looking for an accountability partner, someone who challenges and supports them to pursue their goals. And that's exactly why I created my signature 8-week program. If you're feeling stuck and stagnant instead of making the impact you want to make at your job or lifestyle, let's connect. I'll show you the exact steps you need to uncover your career challenges and face them head on using my favorite coping skills and strategies. When it comes to burnout and overwhelm, unfortunately, I have spent years trying to figure out what to do about it. The good news is, not only did I overcome my own burnout, but I was able to help hundreds of people pivot their career path, and I'm so grateful to share my secrets with the rest of the world. This 2-month program is best suited for people who are ready to take action with their career goals, reignite their inner confidence towards career fulfillment, and build a roadmap for success. I offer a free 15-minute discovery call to learn more about you and your goals. Book your call today in the show notes below, or visit www.paigemitchell.coach. That's PAIGEMITCHELL.COACH. Or send me an email at connect@paigemitchell.coach. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others. Post about it on social media or head over to your favorite podcast platform to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Subscribing and posting a review helps to improve engagement and is essential for the podcast to be discovered by new listeners. Thanks again for listening, and remember, every day provides a lesson. Take care.